two sure sound different, don't they? Hi friends, welcome back to Mark's Speed Shop. In this video, I'm actually going to get some work done. Wow! Although I'm going to miss my meatloaf. I hate that, but I did just go down to the house and fix me a big taco omelet. I'll tell you about that sometime. Oh, it's so good. But anyway, got those wheels, got the tires on. We'll show you that in just a minute. And I wanted to do that, and then I went down and had a taco omelet. My idea is, of course, put the wheels on the front, maybe lower the front end down just a little bit, and change the oil. Okay? So we're gonna get a few things done. Let's get to it. Here we are. There's the wheels. I do like these wheels on here, but we're gonna swap them out. Let me tell you, let me take you, do a little time travel here and take you and show you me putting these on. I guess that gives it away right there, whether I get them on or not. But there was a question there to begin with. Anyway, let me get to jacking up on this and probably change the wheels first and then maybe lower the front end down, drain the oil, all that. Let's get to it. All right, here we are. The new wheels and the tires. Yeah, what I got now. Airplane. But I went ahead and put paint cans in them to try to help spread the bead a little bit, which y'all have seen me do that before. But I think they might go on and this wheel's pretty good. I'm hoping. I do have that, what everybody likes to call a cheater tank. I'm a little more of a Mad Max fan, so I like to call it a Master Blaster. I've never used it, and I hope I don't have to use it here, but I might. But that has popped them out. Hopefully it's only been like a couple of days. This is Wednesday. I got these Monday, and I put the paint cans on Monday. And it's been warm. It's been nice and warm past couple of days, and I've had them in the back of the truck, and they feel warm now. But it looks like it might go. That's a 215/70. Yeah, I did decide to go with a little bit smaller tire. Mostly, well, a couple of reasons. I'll go into that in a little bit. But. Okay, y'all seen me do this a bunch of times, so I'm just going to kind of quickly show you a couple things. Hopefully. One, I do like to usually use soapy water, but a little bit of spray there don't hurt. Oh yeah. Now let's see how difficult this is going to be. gonna be difficult. All right, let me fill up the cheater tank, the Master Blaster. All right, well, I've never used this before, so I'm gonna try it away. If it don't work, we'll try something else. I think I'm gonna blow it in the bottom, but I'm gonna try it on the top. All right, I tried it, but it still won't do. So what I'm gonna do, hook this up. Hook this up to the valve stem. And then turn it over. Being sure not to put any excess pressure on that valve stem. All right. And hook the hose up for the valve. Give it a little more spray around the wheel so it will bite or slick or whatever you want to call it. Turn that on. And there we go. Y'all probably yelling to me. They're left-handed in this car. They'll still barely do it. They'll do it. One reason I got to use these lug nuts for these other. He out of line. He drove these enough to put any wear on. Maybe a little bit to the inside. All right. I might have sit on the floor to do this. I don't think I got enough arse to pick it up. Maybe. Pick it up and line it. I ain't complaining, but I tell you what, it's hot today. It's warm. After all that freezing cold, couldn't get anything done. So uncomfortable. I said I wasn't going to complain about the heat. But we all know that's probably about the biggest lie I'll tell. Because I will complain some. I will complain some, but I'll try to remember how bad it was with the cold. Small socket, but it's a small 3/8. Gosh, it still won't want to go up in there. I really need smaller lug nuts on this side. Does not want to go. Might have to go to town and get those different lug nuts. At least these are right hand threaded. There we go. Oh, that's weird. What's it hitting? Is it a jack stand? Alright, well I figured out what's wrong with the other side. I got it raised up so much and I hadn't lined it up that the wheel sits in at the top. And it's that wide wheel is touching that upper control arm just a little bit. It'll turn, but I got to kind of get on it. So it would wear a groove, knock the skin off my hand on the fender, but it would turn, but it would wear a little groove in the wheel probably. So I plan on lowering the front end anyway. So we'll do that in just a minute. All right, even though this engine probably, the way I figured it's probably only got about 25,000 miles on it maybe. If that, since the rebuild. It's been about 20 years. Anyway, I went ahead and went with the Shell Rotella for a couple of reasons. Not a paid endorsement. I wish it was, maybe one day, who knows. But, yes, it is a diesel 1540. So it's a little bit heavier because back in the day when this was new, most people probably put 30 weight, straight 30 weight in it. Non-detergent, straight 30 weight, which stays pretty thick. Then probably in the late 70s, early 80s, in that era, they put 1040 in it. That was a common oil, 1040. And you didn't hear 1030 hardly ever until it started getting a little bit newer. Now everything is 530 or 520. The Soul Shaper is 520. And I think I think the Mustang might be 020. It's something, it's weird, like it's a whole lot thinner. But the engines have a whole lot tighter tolerances now than they did then. So 1540 is not that bad. I guarantee I could run 2050 in this and it'd be all right, but that's a little heavy. That's a little heavy. But 1540 will be fine, and this does have zinc, so it'll be good. But to be on the safe side, I did get a zinc additive for it. I'm a little worried that it's got might have a little wear on one of the globes. This is a solid lift, not a hydraulic. Because I'm scared that in a decade or so, maybe somebody was putting regular oil in it that didn't have zinc in it, and that'll eat up your cams. That's one reason you have all these cams going bad. All right, I did put a Wicks filter in it. 51.5 with the small block Mopar, as long as it's the right one. But it looked like the other one. Now, I've never changed oil in this car. I got it from Tommy. Tommy changed it just before, well, when he got it. He didn't drive it long. I bet he probably didn't put 1,000 miles on it. I bet he didn't. But anyway, the oil, I bet the oil change, the oil that was in it probably didn't have 2,000 miles on it. It might not have had 1,000, depending on how much Tommy put on it, which won't much. He didn't go very far. And you know me, I just go town and back. So I'd probably average 2 miles a month, but during the summer I would average, 20 to 40 miles a summer. So, but it was old, it had been in there since 18, I think, and this is 26, so it needed changing. Plus, he was running a Fram filter. I mean, come on, give me a break now. I ain't endorsed by none of them, but Fram is about the worst one you can get. But I did put a Wicks, and I put this diesel oil in it, 1540, and that should have enough zinc in it for that cam. But I'm thinking about, I'm either going to put this liquid moly in it with some good stuff, or I'm going to put some other zinc additive that I do have in the other room. I'll show you, but I'm going to crank it up first. Whenever I add something like this, I like to make sure it's got plenty of oil in it, but I want it running. So when you add something like this, rather than it sinking to the bottom of the pan, it'll hit it while it's circulating, and it'll circulate and mix in oil and all that good. So let's go ahead and crank it up, and we'll see if this is the right filter. I stuck your key back in my pocket, so I wouldn't lay it down in the trunk. All right. Let's get the light out of there. I need that wrapped up in a fan. One of the few cars I got that still has a regular fan on it. There we go. The light went off. Dummy light, dummy. I'll have to gauge this up on here. Somebody let it on. I do like that liquid molded, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put the zinc in it. can't see on there where it has zinc and lithium on it. I'm sure it does, but I know this does. It might be overkill with the oil that I put in it with zinc. You got an old flat tapper. I know I've said this before. You got a flat tapper, whether it be solid or hydraulic. I'll roll them, always okay. You gotta make sure you use some kind of zinc additive in a regular oil, or use a plastic, they call it plastic car oil. I believe you got one now, I think it's VR1, got zinc in it, made for these old cars. But if you use regular off-the-shelf Pennzoil or Quaker State or any of those, especially a conventional oil, throw in a zinc additive. Better to be safe than sorry. Let me see. Waste overthinking, I'd rather spend the, $8 or $10 for this than have to pull that out and spend $8 grand and put another engine in. Before I scuff on the fender turning that wheel. I'm going to move it a little bit. Just get out of that oily spot I need to clean up. I gotta get back down there and work in the torsion bar. I hear it rubbing. I hope y'all can hear that. I can hear it inside the car. But we're going to fix that too. Alright. I lowered it down a little bit. I couldn't get it on video because I had to go get my small tripod. That's what I was going to do, to go down and drive this down. It was rubbing way too bad. So I put it back in. I lowered the front end down a little bit. But if you can look and see how these front wheels are. See how they're leaning out, especially that one over there, leaning out at the bottom. Yeah, like I complained about before on the other wheels. So they gotta be straightened out. And the only way to straighten them out is either to bring the, line it up with the control arms out, or bring it back down. So what I'm gonna do now, just so hopefully it'll quit rubbing, is I'm gonna bring it back down. So I gotta lower the front end back down the kind of way it was. Which wasn't bad, but I kind of like the way the car's sitting right now. But to do that and have these wheels, I'm gonna have to take it and get it lined up. I ain't ready to do that yet. I mean, right now, I took it down to the house real slow and back, and it rubbed. So I'm gonna try to get it where it won't rub. I might get me some spacers and just space out the wheels, which I need more different lug nuts on that side anyway, so. Every little bit you do, get you one step closer. It seems like every little bit I do gets me one step closer to walking, but whatever. Let's see if we can get it back down and where she'll quit rubbing. Look how it has shaved a little bit off that wheel. Wow. Ow. Wow. Right. That's just from gently going down to the to the house. riding the brake really. Alright. Same thing over here, I'm sure. This side's worse. I don't see the stuff as bad, but this side's rubbing the whole time. Alright, let's see if we can get it back down a little bit. Alright, I feel it coming down. Good golly. Look at that. I think it might work, but we'll still probably get me a couple of little wheel spacers. If I can push it out maybe a ½ inch, quarter inch to a ½ inch, that would be all right. Well, that brought it down right much. Let's go ahead and bring it down a little bit more. Now, these torsion bars will settle, so I don't want to bring it down too much. If I put it where I want it right now, and I take it up the road and come back, it's going to be an inch lower or more. All right. Well, if anything, it's worse. So, it's going to take more work. Every little bit you do gets you one step closer to your crap not doing right at all. Maybe I should have gone with a 7-inch wheel, but I just hate the idea. 7's on the front, 8's on the back. 7's on the front, 10's on the back, not bad. 7's all the way around, not bad. But if you got 7's on the front, 8's on, I don't know. That's just, 6's and 8's are okay. But I don't know if the backspacing would have been really any different. And that's what's getting me, is the backspacing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some probably quarter inch or ½ inch. I'll probably get 4 1/4-inch wheel spacers, just the little plates, not those adapter things, you know, that sticks out that far. But just a little wheel plates you slide on. And we'll get some new lug nuts for that side over there because those are too big for this. You know, the wheel. They fit the car, but not the wheel. Anyway, I probably got to lean in because I didn't measure, I just brought it down. But it ain't getting no better. So it's going to have to come away from that upper ball joint, control arm, and it's catching a little bit on the tie rod end. So I believe if I could just space it out just a little bit, I shouldn't have to do longer wheel studs. If I can just space it out a little bit, it should give me the clearance, especially with all the clearance it's already made. I'll show you that too later. But anyway, that's going to do it for this right here until I can order some more parts. But we're going to get right back on it here in just a minute. All right, well, you saw how it was just a minute ago. Wheel rubbing the upper control arm and ball joint and touching the tie rod end, okay? And it did a little clearance of its own. Well, I showed you that peeled off aluminum. Well, I went to town and got some wheel spacers, okay? Not super thick, but pretty thick, okay? Let's see, what size are they? Here they are. It's I don't know. Five sixteenths thick. 5/16 thick. Okay. So not even 1/2 inch. And I got one on the passenger side over there. And I bought some new lug nuts for that side. Remember, I was talking about that. I think they're better, but I don't know. Anyway, I put this on, and I mean, it ain't hardly any threads sticking out. It says it's okay if it's a 1/2 inch of threads. It might be. It ain't no more than that, I can tell you that. So I'm not crazy about that. I put a little red Loctite on them and tightened them up and spun it, and it seems to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. Do the same thing on this side, and then we'll take it out and see. But I don't know how much I'll trust it with that, and they're a dog to put wheel studs in the front on drums. I've heard a bunch of people, several people anyway, talk about cracking the drums or breaking the drums, trying to change them. Because, I mean, remember, these drums and these wheel studs are 60 years old. But this will take care of the problem for now. I don't know if I'll take off down the road, zoom, you know, a whole lot. I'll probably drive to town with it, you know. I'll drive it up and down the road and see, make sure the wheel don't fly off. But anyway, let's get this one on and we'll see what it does. It just slides right up on the hub. All right, well, obviously not rubbing while it's jacked up in the middle. And, yeah. Let's set her down and see what we got. Alright, well, my first trip on it was down here to the house. I figured the wheel was going to fall off. I'd rather fall off in the driveway. Looks pretty good. It's not rubbing at all. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm worried about not having enough thread on the wheel studs, on the lugs. Take it out on the road. We'll go at least go up to the end of the road and back. I did take the wrench and double check those nuts, and I was able to get a little bit more out of each one of them. So maybe another half a thread. And I did put red Loctite on the ends. And a lot of people say, "Oh, it's never come off." Oh, you bull! I never seen none that never come off. But I'll put red Loctite on stuff and put it on, and it'll sit for a day or two, and I realize I got to take the bolt out to put a different bracket on or do something, it pops loose. It just won't work loose with the Loctite. I kind of like it. I like your look, but I don't like that. And I would change the wheel studs. Maybe I'll think about that later, but it's not bad changing them on the back because that's in that steel axle. But on the front, on the drums, it's pressed into the drum hub. If you get to pressing on too much, it'll bust that little cast hub. So I definitely don't want to do that. Maybe if I can dig up some more, I ought to have some more on something else. Might dig up some more and practice on those, and if they're same one, same size, I'll see if I can get long studs in it and then do that. But let's take her up the road and see what it does. Alright, let's give her just a quick little easy test. It's not rubbing, that's good. Getting a little bit of squeak out of that right front. That might be a ball joint. It's been doing it for a while. The steering wheel's still pretty straight. Seems alright. I can take it just up the road. We're not gonna know it's a problem until the wheel falls off, but hopefully it won't. I will check the lugs again. Right when I get back, but we'll see. Alright, let's just run up the road here real quick. Call this a win for right now anyway. We're still leaning in a little bit on this side to the top. You see, shouldn't be doing that with the front end down this way. They're still on this side a little bit too. So it was leaning in a whole lot with them other wheels. Probably only brought it down maybe an inch or so. I like it sitting right there. It looks pretty good. Get the front end lined up, but we'll keep an eye on them lug nuts. But I like the wheels. I think they suit the car good. Looks pretty good. The front end is up and up, but still got a little bit of a rake to it. I kind of like the front end up a little higher, but to do all that and do it right, I'm gonna have to get longer wheel studs and then get it lined up. That's not bad. Look good on it, as long as them lug nuts will hang on. Drives good. Drove good going up the road, and it looks pretty level. I didn't measure it really. I just brought them down to where they look kind of even. The bolts in the lower control arm. Measured. That's what you're supposed to do, measured by the fender. We'll call that a success for now. I'll tell you what, this thing fired just right up. And I bumped the timing, I pulled the timing up. It's cold, I got a little rattle. This one console. Pipes on here, everything rattles. It's going out a little faster too, because I bumped the timing up. But now's going to be time to start tuning on this. been just trying to get it going, get it running, get it charging, get the scoop on it, get the roof worked on. Now I'm about ready to see them do some burnouts. I used to do burnouts on with this engine transmission all the time on this scam. So I know it'll do something. I just ain't had the timing right. I ain't had it tuned, I ain't had the carburetor right. It even sounds better with the timing. All I did was just pulled it, turned it, and trimmed it up just a little bit. Alright. Yeah, it even sounds better in gear. Alright, let's see if we can get this up to the shop. Get the white car back in its spot. And I gotta get some video work done. Coming up from the house, I just touched the gas. She jumped 100 times. Oh yeah, this will be a world of difference. Sort of thing over there. The engine ought to have pretty good power. Sure sounding good now. So I touched the island again. It's just with the timing advance, just a little bit. It's still cranking right up. Alright, well, that's going to wrap up this video. Like I said, we're going to call this a success, a completion, because we got the wheels on, they're not rubbing. I got to work on them lugness. I'm going to keep a check on them, see how tight they are. What I'll probably do is take one off and see exactly how it's wearing, how it's rubbing, because it's just the end of it. I ain't crazy about that. It's probably enough to hold it, but I might do some extra measuring and all this. I sure was glad that the charger fired up and ran so good after I turned the timing up. I can't believe how much it sounds different, and I can't believe how much it runs different. So now I'm ready to start doing a little tuning on that. First car show is coming up in a couple of weeks, less than 3 weeks. So I'd like to get a little more work done on the roof and a little this and that and get it tuned. So I'm going to take it, all right? So I'm going to take you and bring you along for that too. I hope you watch it. I hope you enjoy it. But that's going to do it for this. Like I say, we'll call that a success for now, all right? So thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Just hit that little button if you hadn't already done it. It's free, and you're really helping me out, and I appreciate it. You come back to see me, and I'll be here, good Lord willing, and I'll see you at the shop. Subscribe. Thank you.